We are live covering a severe weather outbreak across portions of the southern plains. There is a tornado watch in effect for the southern half of Oklahoma and portions of northeastern Texas. This is going to be a long night of severe weather. I expect the storms to start developing. So we have a combination of a warm front, cold front, and another cold front here that are going to combine energies. And here's the warm front right here. And right along this boundary, probably right in here, we're going to see some pretty bad supercell thunderstorms that could become potentially dangerous, producing potentially strong to intense tornadoes, widespread to numerous damaging wind gusts. This will probably cause quite an extension of damage throughout all of this area. The other thing we will see very large hail in excess of probably apple-sized hail, potentially even upwards of 4-inch sized hail, and I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if it gets larger than that, just given the atmosphere today. Welcome back, of course. I'll ignore the confirmed tornadoes, so I'll change that real fast. That's easy and quick. You can see the latest mesoscale discussions in the top, bottom left of your screen above the timestamp, and then obviously the warning, the actual severe weather risk overall today. So we have a moderate risk in place that is just brand new, basically covering the southeastern half of portions of Oklahoma, but covering a sliver of northeastern Texas. This is primary for the primary reason for a hail-driven risk, which is that one right there. We have a level 2 sig 2 level intensity that is the highest you can get with hail, so it could be a very bad day. Then it is a 45% risk. And we also have a 10% hatch risk for tornadoes that includes a sig 1, sig 2 intensity for that as well, where we could see a pocket of potentially a few strong tornadoes, upwards of multiple strong tornadoes. And today's environment, I wouldn't even be surprised if we see a few intense tornadoes. I don't know if I'll be live the entire time, but we'll see. Another thing is that we also have a damaging wind risk as well. The damaging wind risk is coming right up. There it is. It is an enhanced risk in that 30% zone. It's going to be just basically around that enhanced zone, and you could see damaging winds anywhere else in the brown colors, the marginal, as well as the 15% risk, the yellow as well, slight risk. There's that covered. Onto the mesoscale discussions. We have a mesoscale discussion. I'm sorry for the poor quality. I can read it out to you guys. But the first one, if we go, actually, they have dismissed that one, so I guess we're just down to one now. So this is a tornado potential one. So we're going to have to watch out for the potential for EF2 to EF4 plus tornadoes. I don't think we'll see an EF5 tornado today. It's very unlikely that you see stuff like that, but damaging wind gusts in excess of 55 to 70 miles per hour. I'm surprised it's not higher. I would honestly increase that to 65 to 80 miles per hour, even higher than that, honestly. And then we could see this is rare to see, upwards of 2 and 3/4 inch sized hail, to as high as 4 inches and quarter in diameter hail. So yeah, it's going to be a long night. Things should start developing pretty soon. Looking at the future radar, we'll look at that in a minute. But tornado watch has now been in effect for portions of, like I said, southeastern Oklahoma as well as northeastern Texas. We're going to start seeing some crazy thunderstorms develop. We've already got a few reports here of 1-inch sized hail. These individual supercells are the ones we're going to have to watch. The thing is this severe thunderstorm watch here, it is not specifically for tornadoes. However, if you look at the probabilities, the tornadoes are definitely not off the table. There is a 20% chance. I do not think this area is going to see tornadoes. I really do think it's going to be a pretty good corridor here. I really think it's going to be right in here where you see some, well, let me kind of reframe this. Anywhere in here. Now, if you're buying the RRFSA model, don't buy it. It's showing widespread supercells. I don't think we're going to see quite that. Well, not to the extent that it has. It has it, like, all the way down, like, into this entire area. If that was the case, this entire area would be a moderate risk of severe weather because it would be a tornado outbreak. which we're going to likely see tonight. We're just going to have to see if the conditions are favorable, which we will check about in a second. But again, the ARRR model is a little bit more, I'm going to go in between the ARRR model and the RRFSA model, right in between those two for this risk, because I think we're going to see quite a bit of development come right along this warm front. So the original cold front is right here, obviously, but we have a few areas of concern. So again, the warm cannot draw today, I apologize. The warm front is right here. That is where we're expected to see that development. And like the last event, we see a low pressure over here, and these winds kind of get to here, the thunderstorm winds, and then it kind of cuts off into two lines. You get one line that comes through here, or maybe it was down in Texas. I think it might have been down in Texas. I think we're going to see something similar. We're going to see it just turn into a damaging wind line moving down through Texas and Arkansas. So yeah. Right now we're just going to wait for these things to start developing. We already got a few storms developing. Any of these can become tornadic. This one has 60 mile per hour gusts and quarter-sized hail. And again, you see hail cores like this and you start to question whether or not the National Weather Service is seeing things right or they're not. But that is easily upwards of 1 to 3 inch sized hail, if not larger. The purple there is even reaching 4 inch sized hail, potentially. But we have one storm chaser on it today, but a lot of the storm chasers are going to be down in here, which not all of them are, but today is likely to be a very bad day of severe weather. Oh, there they all are. So yeah, we're just waiting for things to start developing. As you can see, we might have some localized fires going on, honestly, because it's quite hot. So the temperatures are perfect for the severe weather risks today. It's just we're waiting on these storms to really develop, which I have my eye on this one near La Crosse. Even though the tornado parameters are not high in this area, you still have to keep an eye on these storms because they can easily start rotating. Like I said, it's not been warned yet, but there's still broad rotation. You can see it, but the thing is if you actually look at the radar, it's not actually really in the storm. So it's just this thunderstorm with 50 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. Even a special weather statement up here in 47 degree weather, or that might be the dew point. Actually, might have said it that way. Give this a second to load. Don't know why it's not loading. Should have loaded a lot faster than that. Anyways, yeah, little. Actually, wow, I'm surprised they haven't warned this yet. We have a little bow echoing segment here happening in portions of York, Kansas, almost. I believe this is almost the Nebraska. This could be potentially warned for quarter-sized hail or larger, and potentially some damaging winds. Let's see about the gust front. Gust front could be approaching 40 mile per hour wind gusts, so there could be some localized areas of power outages. It's not very likely, but as you can see, that is turned into a bow echoing segment. I think we're gonna have another one behind it as well. Anything you see like this, just you got to be careful because damaging winds could become a possibility. They're probably going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning for that because this thunderstorm could easily have 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts in it given the environment today. And I think we're going to start seeing the storms develop right. I don't know exactly, but we'll see. Another little thunderstorm is starting to develop near portions of Larned. These are likely to all just be severe, but it tried to explode there for a second. But again, so yes, like I said, alright, here we are. Here's the ignition line, basically. I guess that you would call this the ignition line. Things are gonna start developing soon. The time frame is about 7 p.m. to about midnight for this area for significant tornadoes. And there is a potential for 80 mile per hour wind gusts. The probabilities for here a few as I said, the potential for hail in excess of 2 inches is a 70% chance. Strong tornadoes are 50% chance. There's also a 70% chance of 2 EF2 plus tornadoes. So overall, we have a 90% tornado risk. And we could see up to 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well. So this could be a very bad night. I would not even be surprised if we saw upwards of 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That's not out of the question either. But now we just wait. So just a bunch of waiting games right now. What's this Supercell up to? All these are just storms starting to develop a little bit. So we have thunderstorm warning issued for portions of Calker City. Actually, this has already been warned, but looks like a pretty good hail core on the northern side of it. I'm surprised this guy isn't really going for it, but I think what he's trying to do is wait for this thing to maybe try to spin. Now you're going to see it in these conditions, but the wind shear up here I do believe is a little bit elevated. But you're going to see mostly hail out of this one. Let me see here. Not much rotation with this one. There's not really any rotation with this storm, so it's just a cluster of thunderstorms. This is going to be a long waiting game. Just stick with me. Just a long waiting game. Meanwhile, while we're waiting for this thing to get going, I just want to do a little bit of an analyzation to see how things are popping off, because in order to get a sufficient actual severe weather or tornado outbreak to happen here, we're going to need a number of things to come in place here. The first of which is going to have to be temperatures and dew points. The temperatures are not really all that important. I mean, I don't know if there's an exact criteria, but I'm pretty sure we've already met that. So you can see right around the warm front is where you see the actual highest temperatures between 80 and 85 degrees, and then just away from the warm front you see temperatures down to the 70s. So that's a check on there. The dew points are at 73 degrees, which I don't think that's accurate at all, if I'm being honest with you. Let's see here. I don't think that's accurate. No, the dew points are very high here, apparently. Dew points are in the 70s, which means this environment is even approaching 80-degree dew points. That is crazy. That is just miserable conditions. So I'm going to keep this on display mode so you can see exactly what's going on. Or actually, let me change that. Oh, wrong one. Okay. So temperatures plus dew point equals CAPE. That is convective available potential energy. That is a plus. You have at least it all up through here. There's at least a large portion of CAPE up through here. And the moderate stuff is really in here. Alright. So next thing, well, check cloud cover. There was no previous satellite image. I'll just here's a satellite. So if we can get this stuff out fast enough, which it is likely, you can see the clearing in here. This is where things are going to start developing, because you got the temperatures and the dew points and little to no cloud cover. So yeah, there you go. So here's just a rundown of how this could go. I just do want to cover this one other storm real quick. Severe thunderstorm warning issued for portions of La Crosse for 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. Again, my weather app is just not loading today. Yep, the hail core is going to be just north of La Crosse with potentially upwards, I would say even 1 to 2 inches of sized hail could come out of that storm. These are the kind of, but any of these supercells, you're going to have to watch out for tornadoes as well, even though they're not technically in the tornado potential area. You can see there is some broad rotation with these storms, but it also could just be radar contamination. Looking at the HRRR model here, excuse me, sorry about that. If we look at the actual, it's pretty. The HRRR model is on board. It has one supercell over in Granham that is not the actual case. Well, there is a storm over there, but it's not really developed fully. Things are really going to start cranking here in about an hour. Cranking at about 6 p.m. and then things are off to the races by 7 through midnight, as I mentioned, and then yeah, it's going to be a long night of severe weather. I think the biggest tornado potential is going to be between about 6 p.m. and as much as 10 p.m. and I think after that we don't really have much of a tornado risk anymore. And then, as I said, it should turn into mostly a damaging wind line. And there could actually be reignition of other supercells, so they may, during the night, they may issue a specific risk here, because this has been showing up on the HRRR model for the last couple of runs of redevelopment of these thunderstorms, which if they remain clustered like this, there's potential for some of these to become tornadic. The question is, does this actually happen? This is what you call an inverted trough. So the actual cold front would be probably, I don't know, somewhere down here. You have the cold front right here and the warm front extending like this. And then you have basically an inverted trough. So it would be something like this. And this, it's just an upscale in convection, intensity convection. Yeah, so if we see something like this at around 4 a.m., there is definitely going to be potential for some sort of tornado risk. Anyways, as this gets through, that'll be basically done. Then we have another big day of severe weather, and that is going to be for, I'm just hearing, that is going to be for pretty much this part of the country where we could have the potential for, yet again, another severe weather outbreak. If we look at that actual outbreak potential, it has been changed just a tad, but there is now a 45% risk of damaging winds at hatched region. Actually extends into the slight risk for the hardcore Midwest, basically bullseye. We also have a severe weather threat tomorrow as well, and it is for basically the same things all over again. The potential is there for EF2 plus tornadoes and a 10% hatched region, a SIG 1 that could extend all the way down into portions of Oklahoma and Texas, and a significant hail threat once again. So we have 3 days of severe weather, and believe it or not, there could be a fourth one. I did not even see this. This could likely, this Tuesday into Wednesday, there's a slight risk of severe weather that has been issued for portions of the deep south. Okay. So yeah, Just an idea of how bad this outbreak could actually be. I want to actually go back all the way to the beginning. Ignore this supercell in Graham. It's just throwing out a random supercell for some reason. Just if you scroll down and take a look at the significant tornado parameters, I mean, it just gets unbelievable. Right now it's unbelievable, but it just gets worse. This It just gets worse and just stalls here. 7 o'clock p.m. If there are supercells in here, they are going to go wild. And this could, like I said, drag until potentially 10 p.m. as I mentioned. With these, this is basically how I should say this. This is all here. Areas that you could see potential tornadic activity with all the ingredients together, the wind shear, the dew points, the temperatures, the lapse rates, everything like that. That is essentially the actual, essentially, yeah, what we're talking about. And then, thankfully, it's been a long stretch of severe weather and catastrophic for some areas. We saw an EF4 tornado, a real bad EF4 tornado. I think it was up here towards Ottawa. It was in between Kansas City and somewhere up in here. I can't exactly remember. An EF4 tornado ripped through there. So we continue to see intense EF4 tornadoes. It didn't look like an EF4 tornado, but it definitely had the winds of an EF4 tornado. Okay, so this one has now been warned. This is just the environment that we're in. These things are going to be easily warned. This one, have they upgraded this one? Yes, they have. Alright, this one has been upgraded to ping pong ball sized hail. So this is the hail core right here. And then over here, another thunderstorm ready to produce big hail again. This one is warned for small nickel-sized hail, about 88 tenths of an inch, and then obviously there's damaging. There's probably at least some gusty winds with this thunderstorm. It's probably not incredibly damaging, but as you can see, just like that, we have 1, 2, 3 storms already starting to develop, and it's only going to get crazier from here. Okay. So if you are new to the channel, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We do these. I do these severe weather coverages all the time. This thunderstorm near La Crosse has had my eye for a long time because I just thought it was going to start rotating, even though it's not in a favorable environment. I thought it was trying to rotate anyways. Another severe thunderstorm warning up here. Well, it's about to expire anyways. Up near portions of Cawker City. And then another thunderstorm. This one has now been warned severe. There we go. This one is, okay, if you're in this warning, just remember to stay indoors. This one has the threat of small hail, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And you can see why, as I mentioned before, there is a little bit of a, this is our first considerable damage severe weather threat of the day. So yeah, expect 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this one, and it could easily, yeah, there's probably even larger hail unless this is just intense downpours, which I doubt it is. Well, it could potentially be that, but here we go. Well, I don't know. Actually, the RFSA model just might be correct. All right, moving down into portions of Texas. Here we go. We're starting to see some thunderstorms starting to form. These could become tornadic pretty fast. Anyways. While we're waiting for storms to develop, let me just kind of hold on 1 second. I'm gonna go over the next few weeks as far as weather goes, the GFS model is now just running their 18Z model. The 18Z model run is coming out. We should see a re-emergement of severe weather for Monday into Tuesday. And then what we should see is we're going to see that system once again drag up through portions of Canada like many storms this winter season and spring season now. And we're going to see another potential rainstorm development on Thursday off the coast of the mid-Atlantic and southern New England, which could bring some heavy rain and potentially some snow to portions of interior New England. And then we could potentially see our next significant severe weather threat for next Saturday, depending on if this is actually an accurate run. And trends stay that way, that could extend all the way across the board into portions of the southeast. And then going into portions of Friday the 7th, so this is ways out, or not crazy ways out, but it's getting there. We may see another system bring heavy rain to the northeast as well, followed by another round. Now, the good thing about the GFS model, we can look further. So, GFS model showing much of the same thing. There is potential for a significant severe weather outbreak this upcoming Monday into Tuesday across portions of the Midwest. And then, again, rain should, Thursday through Sunday could potentially be just showery weather and downpoury weather for portions of the Northeast, which would be actually very beneficial because they are still in a minor drought, a moderate drought, and in some cases, I think even avoiding the extreme drought. But down in portions of Georgia, we have an exceptional drought, which is the highest level drought you can get, and it's also showing the snow potential for portions of New England. And we could see another spin-up, potentially low-pressure system get pulled in on the 6th, like the European model was suggesting. Maybe a severe weather risk, although I'm not even going to tell you what day this is because this is way out. But the kind of pattern that we're going into right now is we're in a neutral phase ENSO pattern, which essentially means the jet stream can do basically anything it wants to. I think we're basically out of the winter season now. For now, I still think the Northeast and portions of the Midwest could potentially get some snow, or the upper Midwest could still potentially get one last burst of snow, but it's going to take a pretty substantial cool down to happen. But anyways, falling behind that, we are just getting warnings continuing to happen. This now near Larned has been warned for 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail, so seek shelter if you're in this storm. The hail core is, again, going to be just west of Larned. This has the capability, I would say, of even producing upwards of 2-inch sized hail. But the warm front has extended a bit farther to the north, and then I think we're going to see a pull south. But it is steaming down here in portions of western Texas. I'm surprised they're not under a heat advisory of any sort, because we're in the middle of spring and this should definitely not be happening. I'm surprised they don't have like a extreme heat watch or warning extended for some of these areas. They only have a red flag warning, but 95 degrees for some areas. And then we have actually winter weather advisories, so we do have some wintry weather going on. But this is all very weak low pressure systems, so this is all very showery activity. Again, the big deal is going to be here. Alright, I think we're going to start seeing the ignition. Here's the cold front right here. I think this, I'm not exactly sure. It's going to start pushing, but again, this warm front is really the main driver. So what this warm front is essentially going to do, / cold front, is going to pull in moisture from the Gulf, and combined with the clash of, obviously, atmospheres, cold and warm, we're going to see the ignition of multiple different, I think today could be a very bad day of severe weather, just looking at the models. So we'll just wait on it. I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to make it more clear to see things, so give me just a second. what I essentially did is just got rid of a lot of reports so things become legit. While we're at it, oh, never mind, hold on. We have another warning. This is for portions of Cocker City. This is for 60 mile per hour gusts and quarter-sized hail way up here in portions of Nebraska. This one's even got a kind of just a little bit of a bow echoing segment. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some locally or gustier winds with it. It's starting to develop. I'd also watch near Cocker City. I don't think it's necessarily trying to rotate, but it's trying to do something. There is some broad spin here, but I would just say it's just a thunderstorm associated with a wall cloud, which you do see quite often this time of year in portions of Nebraska, or sorry, Kansas. I apologize there. Didn't mean to do that. Another severe thunderstorm warning. The severe thunderstorm warning has been issued, extended, I mean, for portions of B, Ulysses, as well as Seaward. This is up in Nebraska for 60 mile per hour and quarter-sized hail. I still think that hail core is deeper than that, but there's definitely a bow echoing segment as this moves off to the north and east. Just, there you go. Just waiting for these storms to develop, about another 15-ish minutes. Sorry, 17-ish minutes. And we should start seeing some supercells start to develop kind of right in here. I expect the first few to develop kind of like right in here. And then they're going to work their way. But we're also going to see the ignition of it right in here as well. And like I said, if you're in this area today and you are in portions of Oklahoma and Texas, be prepared for potentially a wild night. This could be potentially a pretty bad scenario. I just noticed we have a special weather statement that's been issued for Patio over in portions of Oklahoma. This is for these little clusters of thunderstorms with a little bit of back. I wonder, this may block the inflow, so I'm not sure, but if we can get enough inflow, this could start rotating, but I doubt it right now. I mean, we'll see. So the main risk with this is wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour and nickel-sized hail. It is, let's see here, kind of just developed. So I think it's actually going to have a hard time producing a tornado, but if there were to be a tornado, or if there begins rotation, it's going to be right there. So yeah, there's our first special weather statement in the tornado watch zone. Again, the ceiling is 4-inch sized hail, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised looking at the models if that's higher. Here we go. Here's the ignition of supercells, where things should start getting crazy now. Once these supercells reach this warm front, it's game on. That's when things are going to go crazy. I was going to do something, and it is get the numbers up for severe warnings, dropping that down to a wild 30. And also for winter, it is 19. Oh, wrong thing. 19. So we're getting closer and closer to actually May now. So severe weather season is just about to peak, I believe so. And then summer is obviously part of it as well. Is my microphone low? I feel like my microphone is low. That's probably why that is that way. Can you hear me any better now? Just asking. Not sure. Anyways. Oh, another... I don't know why my computer's so laggy today. I think they may issue a marginal risk of severe weather into portions of Tennessee and portions of Kentucky, as well as northern Alabama and Georgia and Mississippi, just due to the fact of the other system coming through, cutting through the portions of the Great Lakes region into Monday into Tuesday severe weather threat. Alright, so the severe thunderstorm warning, um, where the storm chaser is, that was to the west a little bit, has now expired or been allowed to. They've canceled it. Still watching these supercells. Wichita Falls. This is one that we've covered before, I do believe. This environment is cooking, and you know it's cooking when you have this. What does this show? Really, it just shows me that things are really going to start to develop. Alright, yep, watch these super storms starting to... They're having a hard time developing, and I think it's because of the lapse rates. The lapse rates are just not great where it is, because this is completely, like, very soupy environment. So this should not be a problem. I think what's happening is the lapse rates are making this an issue of development. Let me just take a look at what the lapse rates forecast is right now for the HRRR model. I am looking. The lapse rates may be an issue right now, just slightly. Yeah, the lapse rates are likely an issue right now, which means the storm's gonna have a hard time developing. But the lapse rates should wear off, and it should become more favorable for these thunderstorms to be more tornadic. I think the lapse rates are just a little bit too extensive, which means 7 o'clock. I would say severe weather would start around 6:30, but we'll have to see if I'm correct about that. Moving up towards portions of, again, we have just a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings. The most impressive one right now, wow, what a hail core near La Crosse. Yeah, this has been warned for lime-sized hail now and 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And this is a considerable damage threat. That is an impressive hail core near La Crosse. Wow, what a hail core. Can't pronounce things. Thought if we just had our first tornado warning of the day. A little bit too early for that. That's our first impressive storm of the day. Wow, what a surprise. Didn't expect that to come out of that storm. But again, the air aloft is, no. Oh yes, we do. New severe thunderstorm warning in the actual tornado watch box. This is for portions of Patillo and portions of far western, eastern portions of Oklahoma. This is warned for, again, 60-mile-per-hour gusts and quarter-sized hail, and it's gonna probably develop a pretty big hail core. It is on the outscapes. I'm gonna actually put up the actual severe weather thing for today. Yeah, all right, there you go. This just basically translates to how things are looking right now. So this actual storm that's trying to develop here near Marysville is approaching a moderate risk of severe weather. And could just blow up just like that, kind of like this one did. These ones are having a harder time. I think that's just because they're kind of more in a slight/marginal risk. But once they get into this zone of favorable environments, it's off to the races. basically by that point. But again, moderate risk of severe weather is in place. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. We are one shy of a high risk, which would be extremely rare. It's rare enough that they issue moderate risk of severe weather. We've had a lot of enhanced risk of severe weather, enhanced risks of severe weather this season already. But only, I think, two moderate risk of severe, two moderate risks of severe weather. But again, this just shows you where the most powerful thunderstorms could potentially be today. Anyways, and then tomorrow's is the severe weather outlook for the next severe weather potential outbreak. This is going to be potentially a very bad outbreak. It looks like we're likely to see widespread to numerous damaging winds up and down through here, all through here. We're gonna see a cold front kind of pull to the north and Hello. Alright, we're back. Okay. Alright. We're finally getting some severe thunderstorm warnings. Alright. Severe thunderstorm warnings issued for Wichita Falls, 60-mile-per-hour gusts, and half-dollar size tail. The back end of this looks like it may try to be rotating a little bit. You can see kind of a hook here. Right in here. The rotation is going to be right, if there is any rotation, let's see here. No such rotation yet, but that could easily change. Another severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Wichita Falls and pretty different severe thunderstorm warning. This one is a considerable damage threat, so be aware of that. 60-mile-per-hour gusts and golf ball size tail are the primary concerns. Moving on to portions of Ada, 60-mile-per-hour gusts and half-dollar size tail can be expected with this storm. These are the kind of storms you want to pay attention to. Right in here, we may actually already have some rotation starting to happen. Yep, rotation starting to happen near Stratford. If you're in this area, seek shelter immediately. Not ready to say quite just yet. I'm not confident enough to say that that's debris, even though it suspiciously is over an area of near where rotation is. I suppose this one's going to get worn pretty fast, but I wouldn't be quite highly concerned about it. But this is the kind of storms you're going to want to watch out for. There's an individual supercell. Beware of that one. We'll have to watch that one closely. Another one near Durant. That's just a normal thunderstorm. Back here, back into Stigler, 60-mile-per-hour gusts and quarter-size tail can be expected with this storm. Another storm to be watchful for. You can kind of see two hooks here. Very broad rotation if there is any. Again, very broad rotation. I don't see anything here. And then again, another thunderstorm you have to be aware of. This one is for 60-mile-per-hour gusts, lime-sized tail, and there's a tornado possible label on tag on this one. As you can see, we have a hook echo here, right near this lake here. I would say this one is nearly tornadic. We do have a little bit of a couple here. And not much of debris on this one, although this is kind of suspicious how there's just this little area here. That just popped up. I'm wondering if this is actually... Yeah, this could be a tornadic supercell already. Or it could easily be contamination as well. We'll have to keep an eye on that storm as well. These are the kind of storms you're going to want to pay attention to. Moving on, and these are going into that. Okay, there's now a new mesoscale discussion just being issued. There's two of them actually. This one is for severe, probably, and another one. We'll get to these mesoscale discussions right away. But first, this one is actually the one that's most concerning here. This one is actually really concerning me right now. It's developing a hook and everything like that, which means it has. This one could go crazy. Already, we could have another tornado potential here. Rotation is starting to strengthen up here, tightening up. There's likely a wall cloud rotating. This is going to get worn pretty soon, I would say here. Never seen black on radar, but that would be 46%. The blue is where it gets to the big debris being picked up. This is likely going to get tornado warned here any second, and we'll get to that right away. I would seek shelter immediately if you're in Ada. This is the kind of supercell that you're going to want to be very careful of. This is the one of many supercells that are going to develop in the next couple of hours. Again, another supercell embedded in here and another supercell embedded in here. Again, watch these closely. Yeah, nothing right here is overly concerning, but this is definitely something to watch for. this something could happen here. This is definitely rotating by all means, in some form of degree or a wall cloud at least. But I'm right now, while I have the chance, I'm gonna get those mesoscale discussions up real fast. This one is for 60 miles per hour wind gust and $half size hail. This is gonna get warned almost. This is gonna get warned pretty fast. This one. Again, if you're near Ada, Pickett, or Vano, seek shelter immediately if you're in the storm. This is one of those storms that could be potentially dangerous. Now getting into mesoscale discussions, I will get to that right away. Alright, we actually have 3 mesoscale discussions, which is interesting. Do we actually? Because I feel like that's not true. We do have 3 mesoscale discussions. Alright, I'll get all 3 of them up. Keep an eye on this storm. This one could become tornadic very fast. Doesn't have much of a hail core, so it's in its early stages. I think that's our tornado warning. No, this one is going to get warned any second, I'm telling you. Believe me. Oh wow, this one, the one that's closest to Oklahoma and Texas is highly concerning. Wow. Did not expect to see that. Wow. Alright, let's get these mesoscale discussions on the board real fast. Alright, we'll get these on the board right now. Alright, here they are. Again, not good stuff. First one is or actually, let's play these through again. For some reason I got these messed up. I don't know how I did. Anyways, I will sort that out. There's this, it's going, this one up in the central plains is warned for 1.25 inch, 1.5 to 2.5 inch sized hail, 55 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts, and the potential for an EF1 tornado or more. The second one that is blue, I can't go through all these at once. I'm gonna have to just read them off, and they're also not going in the order that I'd like them to either. Okay. Okay, I think I just switched these two up. Alright, that's fixed. I apologize for that. Actually, it's not fixed. Perfect. Okay. Keep an eye on Stafford. Alright, again, supercell thunderstorms starting to develop here near Heavener. Oh, wow. This one is one for 70 mile per hour gusts and lime-sized hail. Again, same storm has been extended a little bit further. Really watch this hook in here. Really watch in there. Severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, these are already been discussed. Okay, so we're gonna have to just go one after another, I guess. Alright. Alright, let me get the SBC things, and we will show them to you. Alright, here we go. Apologize for the black screen, otherwise this is about as good as I can do right now. This is the one we are watching right now. This is the one that's most concerning, obviously. Tornado watch likely needed soon. This is for 4-inch sized hail. Again, very, very dangerous potential here for upwards of EF3 to EF5 tornadoes, or actually, sorry, EF4 tornadoes potential here, and there could be even more than that. And the potential for 55 to 70 mile per hour damaging winds. That's one of the mesoscale discussions. The first one that was issued into portions of Kansas. This one is warned for 1.5-inch sized hail to 2.5-inch sized hail, 55 to 70 mile per hour damaging winds, and up to EF1 plus tornadoes, potentially closer to EF2. And then the other one. These all also have a tag on them. I forgot to read them out. This one, the one with the few supercells developing in portions of Kansas, is increasing for very large hail risk over the next few hours. Second one is, again, the threat for severe hail will steadily increase over the next few hours. Watch issuance is expected, so expect a severe thunderstorm watch into portions of southwestern portions of Missouri, southeastern portions of Kansas, northwestern portions of Arkansas, as well as northeastern portions of Oklahoma. This one is for 1.5-inch sized hail to 2.5-inch sized hail, 55 to 70 mile per hour damaging winds, and the potential for EF1 plus tornadoes. And then obviously we have this one over here. This is the most concerning out of all of them. So this is a tornado watch likely needed soon. Again, 4-inch sized hail, EF3 plus tornadoes can be expected, or EF4 tornadoes, EF3 plus tornadoes can be expected, as well as 55 to 70 mile per hour damaging winds. I do think we're going to see larger. I think we could even see upwards of 85 to 90 mile per hour wind gust reports come out of today's risk, but that is all I've got for the risk, the mesoscale discussions today. So there you go. Back to the coverage. This cell has still not been severe warned yet, so we're still waiting on that, obviously. But it's getting, this thing is having a very difficult time really trying to get going, honestly. And I think the primary reason is there's just so much convection. I mean, it's not really convection, but you have a storm here, but also, as I've said, if you take a look, let's take a look at how high this cloud top is, actually. I just want to see real quick. This is an elevated echo top, which means it is capable, but it's only up to like 47,000 feet or something like that. I'm not exactly sure the exact numbers, but it's trying to rotate. You can see it in here. Here's the rotation. You've got the inflow, so there's plenty of inflow. It's just, can the storm get going? And I think it's in the process of doing so. So that special weather statement has been led to expire. Again, up and down the line, we have a bunch of storms starting to develop along in this boundary here. And none of these are severe warned, but a couple of them could be. This one looks like it might be a rotating, but I can only tell based off of, let's see. Yeah, that one's not rotating. They kind of do look like they're rotating in a way, and you can see it sometimes, but it really has to develop that hook. Up near Wichita, again, just a bunch of thunderstorms here. None of these look severe to me. One severe thunderstorm in the portions of St. John for 50 mile per hour gusts and ping pong ball sized hail. I would still keep an eye on this storm for a potential tornado. It is an opportunity. This, I believe, is I think this velocity is being what do you call it? Being contaminated. I do not think there's a tornado on the ground with this storm. So if you see that on this storm, just beware. I don't think that's correct. And then this storm also looks like it has a hook. I just think that it's not tornadic yet. So again, this one is under a special weather statement. This one is another decent supercell. This one is warned for nickel-sized hail. There's a little bit of broad rotation, but again, I'm not going to say there is because I don't think this is actually rotation with these thunderstorms. I think it's radar contamination simply. Okay. Everyone's on the supercell. If I was them, I'd back the heck off of this storm a little bit. Tornado PG should probably go towards this way. This storm chaser should probably chase this road. Because this supercell, it is maintaining a mostly eastern motion. However, the track that they're in, this guy is in a very vulnerable position. He's got to get out of there. Because this is one of those supercells that could easily become tornadic. This could, yeah, this, all these storm chasers are on this one storm. Yeah, that's not a good idea. They're going to either get caught in the hook, or they're, yeah. I would not be doing that if I were them. Because if there is rotation, it's right over their head. That's the problem. This is the supercell that has my most concern right now. Again, it's still having trouble really producing anything. I think the lapse rates are really affecting this. But we are approaching that magical hour around 7 o'clock where things could get nasty. This could either turn out to be a bust of a forecast, or this could be an accurate forecast. It's all dependent on these couple of hours, next couple of hours, I mean. The lapse rates around mid-levels are pretty extreme, which makes sense as why this threat is having trouble getting going. But the forecast is for these supercells to really start to get going. The question is, can they? And I think they can. It's just going to take a little bit more of that cooling air overhead to really unlock the capping situation. For these thunderstorms to really start rotating properly. But we've got a hail core development on this one, so that one's good to go. Now we're just waiting on the tornado aspect of it, which I don't know why they're directly inside the hook, because that's the most dangerous place to be. I just want to make sure this is not a bug, because I'm gonna refresh my browser, because I have a hard time believing these storm chasers are actually in this. No, they literally are. Wow. Thought it may have been a radar bug. But, this can get ugly very fast, people. Just be aware. I think they're going to issue a mesoscale discussion for right in here. Once these supercells make it, this thunderstorm right here is directly in the moderate risk of severe weather. And I think the primary reason why it's not really rotating very well is primarily due to the fact that we have, the lapse rates are a problem. Severe thunderstorm warnings. I didn't even see these up here. Oh, tornado warning. That's official. Alright, first tornado warning of the day. And here we go. This has now been tornado warned. First tornado warning of the day. If you're in this warning, see shots immediately, whether it's the lowest part of your home or building. This is now officially tornado warned. And it looks like, yep, we got strong rotation right near Gar corner. I don't think there's anything on the ground with this thing yet, because if there was, they definitely wouldn't be this close. Alright, another tornado warning. Or, sorry. I think my warnings are getting messed up for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. Oh, didn't mean to click on that. Severe thunderstorm warning issued for portions of Temple. This is for 60-mile-per-hour gusts and quarter-sized hail. Little supercell moving through. Nothing crazy. This one is also warned for golf ball-sized hail. And there is nothing on the ground with this storm just yet, so that's the good thing at this point. I think I pronounced that wrong. Oh, there was 2 T's at the end. And just a heads up, these are the kind of thunderstorms that can become nasty real fast. So I don't think this one is necessarily on the ground yet, but it may become. I'm not sure yet. Okay, I think this is just updating severe thunderstorm warnings. Severe thunderstorm warning for Seaward. This is for 60-mile-per-hour gusts and quarter-sized hail. Another. Okay, it's going off again. I think we're gonna have a lot of these false alarms tonight, like we've had in the past live streams. I wonder if this is just a disconnection or just a light rain shower that they're passing over, and this is the actual supercell. Okay, it's still not on the ground, at least not yet. Okay, moving up through these severe thunderstorm warnings, like I said. This one has been extended for parts of Maxville. This is for 50-mile-per-hour gusts and ping pong ball-sized hail. Wait for this to load, because that is definitely not how it looks at all. I can tell you that. Yeah, didn't think so. This could easily be producing 2 to 4 inch sized hail in this hail core here. I wouldn't be surprised to see some localized hail larger than that. Special weather statement up for portions of near Albert. Okay. Again, you're going to notice a lot of these a lot of false warnings. This one could easily this one storm chaser that you see here. This one right here. He needs to get out of there. Because the rotation seems to be, yeah, it's starting to strengthen again. I don't know why they're directly under the storm. That's what I'm trying to exactly figure out. I think Radar Mega's just glitching out a little bit. This severe thunderstorm warning near Jamestown is going to be allowed to expire, and I'd say it's pretty much, this thunderstorm is pretty much nothing. Expect strong wind, 50 to 55 mile per hour gusts, and nickel-sized hail. Alright, severe thunderstorm warning extended for this thunderstorm up near Wilbur. This is up in portions of Nebraska. Geneva is also in this severe thunderstorm warning. This looks to me like it's quite a hail core. I think this is going to be primarily winds, but we do have quite a giant hail core on this thing. Potentially upwards of 2 to 4 inch sized hail in this thunderstorm. And obviously this extends up through here too. I think there's larger hail than what they're saying, so don't buy that. Or it could just be a purely the squall line. Alright, still nothing on ADA, but we do have a new tornado warning, and this one is been issued for portions of Scotland. This is for golf ball sized hail, and yep, that's a classic looking supercell to me. Second tornado warning of the day, and oh my lord, if this turns out to be if this starts to tighten up and tighten up. This is going to produce a big time tornado. If you're near Luke Wilson, seek shelter immediately, or anywhere in this box. Seek shelter immediately where the lowest part of your home or building. I think this one may be capable, and I think there actually might already be a tornado on the ground with this one, actually. Just what I'm, based off what I'm saying. Well, actually, hold on, give me 1 second. I don't think so. Yeah, never mind. But still not good either way. Tornado warning in effect for portions of Scotland. This is in Oklahoma, or actually Texas right now. These are the kind of supercells you want to be aware of. This is going to be a big night of severe weather, folks. I apologize. This could easily get very bad very fast. We are 2 minutes away from the magical hour where things could actually go ballistic. Crazy, I mean. Literally insane. This could get real bad real fast. Just warning you guys, this could get bad really, really fast. I think this one is already producing a tornado. No, I keep on saying that. I apologize. Yup, it's starting to strengthen up. This is winds going away from the radar, and this is winds coming towards the radar. If you're in this warning, seek shelter immediately. You've got to. This is a dangerous thunderstorm. Still nothing on the ground with it quite just yet, but actually, I might take that back. It's hard to tell if there's actually a tornado on the ground because it's not over the actual area of rotation. It looks to me like there's actually 2 areas of rotation near Lake Wilson and over here as well. But I don't want to say that because if you look at the radar, there's no 2 hooks. There's purely 1 hook. So if you're in that warning, seek shelter immediately because that could easily become a dangerous thunderstorm. Near Ada. It looks like we're about to... Okay, so this is a little shower moving into the storm. That's not really probably going to affect it. Hail core has disappeared and this storm has failed to produce a tornado. Well, once it rips through that, the capping situation that we're having right now. Again, the cap is the cloud you see over the top of an anvil thunderstorm, which you call a cumulonimbus cloud. Once you get to that level, and there's capping over top, that's what prevents thunderstorms from really going further. They have to really survive and get through that capping to really start to become tornadic or severe at any cost. Don't know why they took back that severe thunderstorm warning. They're probably going to put it right back. There it is. New severe thunderstorm warning for portions of, I'm looking here, Potu Mountain Wilderness. 70 mile per hour gust and golf ball size hail can be expected with this storm. This is the also kind of storm that you want to pay attention to because it's developing a hook already. Not much rotation with it, but I think it's trying to do something here because these colors are getting darker and darker. Yeah, I think we're easily going to head into a very significant night of severe weather, unfortunately. This, the evolution of this supercell has really just gone from, it's really trying to rotate, it's just failing to do so. I think actually the rotation may be in here now. Let's see. Okay, they just why does that keep happening? I really apologize for that. I'm gonna get it fixed in another video probably. I'm not sure yet. Here near Scotland. Yeah, this one is wrapping up. Huge hail core to the north. If you're anywhere near this hail core, it's going to be dangerous inside of it. This is getting tighter and tighter. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, this is not good. Alright. This is not good. We're starting to get some intense rotation starting to happen near Luke Wilson, Texas. If you're in this warning, seek shelter immediately. This can easily turn to be a very violent tornado very quickly. Keep an eye on this storm. This storm could become dangerous very fast. One near Ada is still just tornado warned. Oh, actually, we have a severe thunderstorm warning for portions of it. This one is going to be for 60-mile-per-hour gusts and quarter-sized hail near Sedan. Watch out for this one as well. Any of these supercells, watch out for potential of tornadic activity out of these. There's a little bit of rotation near Sedan, but it's not enough to be concerning, unless if there is something on the ground with it. Not sure yet. What a hook on this one. That's crazy. And I don't see any problem with these because there's literally nothing here, which means it's got perfect inflow into the storm, which means this thing can just start rotating like crazy. We'll see if it does so. New warning. It's either an upgrade or it's something else. Okay. Yep, new severe thunderstorm warning issued for portions of near Pawn Rock. This one has a pretty significant hail core coming with it, so beware. Likely 1 to 2 inch sized hail with this storm. This one has 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and $half sized hail with it. Oh, wow. This one near Wichita is becoming interesting. Oh, well, it looked interesting anyways. I regret saying that. Okay, so this one has basically failed to produce anything. So there's the end of that. It's still in a favorable environment. I just think the capping is a problem right now. Okay. Is this coming, like, swinging around like this? I think it's trying to swing around. Okay. Don't know what happened to the first rotation. That was weird. I think it's cycling. Yep, it's cycling. Ooh. This is still broad rotation, but make no mistake, this can become very bad very quickly. Did it just get confirmed? No. Stupid radar is not working. Is that a debris ball? Hold on. This could be a debris ball. Okay, there we go. There's the issuance of the tornado warning over here. I'll get to the. I told you they were going to issue a tornado watch for this area. New tornado warning. This one is issued for portions of Heavener. Okay. Yep. Rotation is strong near Heavener, or at least broad, but it is there. Nothing on the ground with this one yet. I think the capping is becoming a real issue right now, but I don't think for long. I think once we get these, okay. We are up to 3 tornado warnings already. Unbelievable. Okay. If you if you're in this warning, see out there immediately, whether that's the lowest part of your home or building. Did they just seriously issue another one? Give me a second, guys. Just give me 1 second here. I think there's rotation down here as well near Forester. Oh man, I already have a feeling this is okay. Sorry. They also just issued a flood thing for this, which is not surprising. The amount of supercells that could develop in this region, could pose a significant flooding threat. So there's potential for heavy flooding. But this new tornado watch mesoscale discussion I'll get to right away. Yep. Well, here it is. I'll just put it over screen so it's easier. Here's a new thing for the tornado stuff. So large to very large hail and tornado threat continues. Potential for a strong tornado remains near the warm front. And notice how they've issued 2 areas of hatched regions. These are for the potential for tornadoes and hail. For the ceiling tonight is going to be, for this mesoscale discussion, is going to be 4-inch sized hail, EF3 plus tornadoes, EF3 to EF3 plus EF2 to EF3 tornadoes, I believe, and 55 to 70 mile per hour damaging winds. So yeah, not good stuff. But again, I think something may be working in our favor, and I think that's the lapse rates. That's the only thing that's working in our favor right now, from preventing these storms from really doing anything. Okay, there's that. Oh, that's not good. Oh man. Apple-sized hail with this storm. Wow. What crazy. Unbelievable. Okay. Okay. Alright. We have strong rotation near Luke Wilson. And, this could very well be a tornado on the ground, this little piece right here. Give it one more scan, but I'm pretty sure this could be a tornado on the ground already. This one may have overcame the lapse rates, or the capping. I think we have a tornadic thunderstorm on our hands. Before that, destructive hail, 3-inch sized hail, apple sized hail is possible with this storm, as well as 60 mile per hour gusts. Unbelievable. And that's just the starting. The ceiling tonight is 4 inches, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's larger than that. Hold on. I don't think I pronounced that right, did I? Okay. Okay. Is this on the ground now? It's gonna be. I know there's other tornado warnings to be aware of, but this rotation is really... Okay, the rotation is getting weaker again. But again, I think that's a tornado on the ground. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a tornado on the ground. Near Lake Wilson. If you're near Luke Wilson in portions of Texas, seek shots immediately whether the lowest part of your home building. We likely have a tornado on the ground. I think that's what we're dealing with right now. Pretty sure that's... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. This is going to get confirmed pretty quickly, I do believe. I'm going to wait for the confirmation on this one, but I do believe this one is on the ground. And then we have this other one here near Buying. It looks like it's failed to produce a tornado, so now we're looking at more of a damaging wind and hail threat. We got lucky on this one, folks. This one is warned for 60 mile per hour gusts. And $half size hail. Tornado warning near near Heavener. Let's take a look at this. The hook is weird on this one. Oh my god. Okay, this tornado warning has now been extended. New tornado warning has been extended into portions of Waldron. This is going to be extended into portions of Louisiana, or Arkansas, excuse me. Not good, once again. The rotation is so broad, I'm surprised it's even warned. I'm being genuinely serious. I'm surprised this is even warned. I mean, there could be something there, but it's highly unlikely that there's anything on the ground with this thunderstorm. I could be wrong, though. Hold on, I think that may be an indication that the tornado's on the ground. I'm trying to get through these as many as possible. Okay, I may just have to stop posting things on Facebook altogether about this situation, because it's going to become too much of an issue very fast. Okay, tornado warning here. Looks like it's been confirmed because it's kind of still not. This one is also warned for lime-sized hail. Wow. 1 hook, 2 hook. Is it really trying to develop a 3rd hook? This storm is crazy if that's what's going on here. That's intense rotation, and yes, sure enough, that is, yes, again, another area of rotation. So yes, it does look like we actually do have 3 hooks. This storm is crazy already. Severe thunderstorm warnings here, 60 mile per hour gust, quarter-sized hail with this one. Again, none of these storms really look bad to me. And then another one for 50 mile per hour gust and quarter-sized hail near, this is in portions of South Coffeyville. A bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings up here. I love how there's just these random storm chasers up here for literally no reason in the most least favorable environment for tornadoes. This is Reed Timmer. Is this Reed Timmer? Is this seriously? No, it's not. Okay. I thought that was Reed Timmer. Reed Timmer is going to be down in the actual area that's most concerned right now. Large hail core though. 60 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail can be expected with that one. This one is definitely producing more than quarter-sized hail. I mean, look at that hail core there. Probably upwards of 2 to 3 inches, maybe even 4. Back down to this one. Again, still radar indicated. Oh, that's got a hook. A very nice looking hook, actually. Not in a good way, but the rotation is starting to come together with this storm now, and it's been about time for like 5 minutes now. I think there might be something on the ground with that one. I'm not. I think there's 2 tornadoes on the ground here. I'm starting to think there's 2 tornadoes on the ground right now. Very small, but 2 tornadoes on the ground. I think there is. Two unwarned tornadoes. But yet again, I don't know. Right here, this little something right here, whatever this is, just popped up on radar for no reason, and it is in exact position of that area. I think we have a tornado on the ground on this one, if I'm being honest. Never mind. It's a little bit off, so I could be wrong. Again, just wow. Well, I guess we're lucky it didn't play out like the RFSA model was saying. This is much better case scenario. Much better. Okay, another warning where? I think my warning system is drunk. Just saying. But make no mistake, the flooding is equally as deadly, obviously. Yeah. It's more of an isolated flash flood risk with supercells, but they're right, technically. Nothing much with that one. I'm going to take a break real quick, and I guarantee you the second I get back, there's going to be one that's already on the ground. Okay, new warning. Okay. Well, good thing is rotations have become broad, but I still do think we had at least one tornado at one point. I will be right back. Alright, we're back. Yeah, again, the rotation has become extremely broad on this one. We likely just have a wall cloud at this point. Severe tornado warning over here near Waldron. Again, another warning just went off. Where's the question? Okay, they just issued another mesoscale discussion up here as well for severe thunderstorm watch. Checking on this tornado warning over here. This one's about to expire. Is there a rotation on the backside of it? Is this one trying to... Yeah, this one's cooked. Okay. That one's done. We're still early into this thing, but I'm starting to think that the lapse rates may become a real issue here. We're approaching the 8 o'clock hour and we're supposed to have multiple supercells. Which we do. Just none of them are really becoming tornadic in any shape or form. Severe thunderstorm warnings up and down here. But, severe thunderstorm warnings up here near Canone. Bull echoing segment right there. Tornado watch also extended into portions of southwestern half of Arkansas. This is again for tornadoes, obviously. So keep an eye on this one as well. We are just early into this thing. This could be a wild ride, or this could be a complete bust. It's one of the two. We are just getting started, really. Oh. Alright, let me get that mesoscale discussion. I'm going to get a NOAA weather radio for you guys set up.
Inches and falling. Pflugerville haze was reported. 88. Taylor Hayes was reported 88. Lago Vista sunny 86. Georgetown mostly sunny 88. San Marcos partly sunny 88. Burnett sunny 87. Junction mostly sunny 90. San Antonio mostly